When do you take responsibility for your actions?
You can't.
Like, as he started to talk in the beginning, he had an agenda, like, to attack me. And I kept feeling some type of way, and I'm like...
Did you feel the tension in the room before he even started talking?
I felt the tension. I did. And then I said, okay, where's this going?
Here's the current situation. Kevin Hart has officially stepped into the Katt Williams controversy, and instead of steering clear, he's turned the volume up even higher. Kevin made it a point to remind everyone that Katt isn't the innocent figure he often portrays himself to be. According to Kevin, Katt Williams intentionally damaged Wanda Smith's career, and it wasn't some off-the-cuff comedic moment. Kevin insists it was deliberate and that Katt was actually paid to do it. That single claim sent shockwaves online because Kevin was essentially accusing Katt of working for the very Hollywood insiders he often criticizes, the same powerful figures Katt claims Kevin follows. By bringing Wanda Smith's name back into the conversation, Kevin reopened wounds that never fully healed. Old clips resurfaced, timelines flooded with reactions, and fans started demanding answers. Soon, the calls grew louder. People wanted Katt Williams to issue a direct apology to Wanda's family for ending her career. The expectation was clear: either Katt apologizes or the culture cancels him once again. And that leads to the big question: will Katt finally admit he was responsible for derailing another comedian's livelihood?
I shouldn't have, honestly. Like, some of these things are the reason that the enemy decides to go ahead and let you be famous, is your ability to tear down your own kind, no matter how high they are.
Or will he stick to his usual pattern, deflecting blame, pointing fingers at the system, and casting himself as the victim until the backlash fades? Katt was already under pressure, but what truly reignited the debate wasn't Wanda's name, it was Michael Jackson. Out of nowhere, Katt went viral after issuing an apology to Michael Jackson's family. And that single moment reopened the door for people to revisit his past actions. Think about it. If Katt Williams could acknowledge that he helped damage Michael Jackson's reputation for a paycheck, then why not admit to playing a role in Wanda Smith's downfall as well? That became the central argument across social media. For years, Katt built parts of his comedy career on mocking Michael Jackson. His name was a reliable source of laughs in countless routines. So when Katt appeared recently with a serious, regretful tone, people were stunned. No smirk, no sarcastic laugh, no sharp jab, just open, unfiltered remorse. In his words, Katt admitted, "I shouldn't have." Honestly, some of these things, they're the reason the enemy lets you get famous. It's your willingness to tear down your own people, no matter how high they've climbed.
They gonna sleep with him. You only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet. She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody. And they already ready to down Monique and up somebody who has showed them Girls Trip. Did you think she wrote Girls Trip, goofball?
Right.
Or do you think that was already a script and they handed it to her? Because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt. The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy. And then all of a sudden divorced him. Then said he abused her. Then wrote a book. Then said he didn't. And then now we're at Brad Pitt. So
And now it's clear, I played a part in that. The confession struck hard because he wasn't just addressing random comedy rivalries. He was holding himself accountable, admitting that those in charge often have hidden motives. According to him, the real strategy was to keep black men tearing each other down publicly, leaving the community divided and weakened. Without realizing it, he acknowledged that his Michael Jackson jokes directly fueled that agenda. The internet latched onto it instantly. But right after that apology, everything shifted. People began listing the names of others Katt owed apologies to, and the first one mentioned was Wanda Smith. That's when Kevin Hart stepped in and completely flipped the discussion. Kevin and Katt have never been close. Their feud spans years. So when Kevin jumped in, it wasn't just random commentary. He was taking advantage of a moment he'd been waiting on. This time, though, it wasn't just about trading insults. Kevin went all in, portraying Katt as the very antagonist he had always accused Kevin of being. Let's not forget, Katt had recently gone on Club Shay Shay and roasted Kevin without hesitation. He accused Kevin of performing for Hollywood, of abandoning his own community just to secure big paychecks. He painted Kevin as the ultimate yes man, someone willing to embrace any stereotype if it meant profit. And Katt didn't stop there. He labeled Kevin as a gatekeeper, someone who blocked opportunities for talented comedians while elevating others who, in his words, hadn't earned it. Katt Williams said in that interview, "They tell you there are no gatekeepers, but the same people keep opening the gates. Didn't Kevin open the gate for Tiffany? Isn't he doing it again now? What do you mean there are no gatekeepers? There are hundreds of gates and everyone I've seen has a keeper." He was clearly pointing to Tiffany Haddish's success, suggesting Kevin fast-tracked her career despite her not enduring the same grind as other comics. But when Katt's apology about Michael Jackson sparked backlash, Kevin turned the tables. Kevin Hart responded, "If we're talking about selling out and hurting our own, let's talk about you. You ended Wanda Smith's career and you got paid for it. You keep playing the victim, but you've been chasing the same money you accuse others of chasing. You're not a victim, you're the villain." That revelation didn't just hit, it reopened one of the most difficult and uncomfortable chapters in Katt's entire career.
So
You cook? Do you cook for your kids?
Absolutely.
Tell me some of the things you cook that they're proud of. Like, Dad made some. You got the best spaghetti. You got the best steak. What do you have? Tell us what you cook.
As a father of 7 with an unlimited food budget, you can make whatever is necessary.
I
With
said
7,
what they like.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
I'm
I
still
said, what do they
answering.
like? You
Just
think?
because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean.
I said, you answer the question and just tell me
Man, you're a
what they
strong
like.
black woman. Is it
Answer
okay
the
for me to
question.
answer?
Come on.
You keep interrupting the answer. Everyone can hear it. It sounds like you like me a little bit. It's starting to bleed over the airwaves.
It is.
Oh, really?
I want to let
Come
everybody
on.
know that Wanda got some lipstick on right now with enough glitter for the 4th of July.
That's right.
Wanda knows
I'm what?
she didn't do as much cooking in the latter years as she did in the beginning.
Whatever. I cook. I do it all.
I didn't say that you
Well,
didn't.
that's all right. I did it in the beginning and the middle and the end.
What's your favorite
Wait,
thing to cook?
wait.
Your boys. Yeah.
They like for me to I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey,
And they
right now,
love-
look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli, and tell me does it
whatever,
say heat up water?
Shut up.
That's the only step in broccoli. Heat up water.
Whatever.
Have you ever heard of burned broccoli? Can you
whatever,
burn
hater.
broccoli? You
Whatever,
can't burn
hater.
it because it's made in a pot of
You
water.
don't know nothing about.
You know what her second meal they love from her? What I do with
Almost instantly, fans began digging through old YouTube clips, pulling up the infamous 2018 interview Katt did with Wanda Smith. The receipts resurfaced, and it wasn't pretty. The exchange took place live on Frank and Wanda in the morning. At first, everything felt lighthearted. Katt came in with his usual sharp wit, and for a moment the vibe seemed relaxed. But then he shifted the focus toward Tiffany Haddish, and that's where things unraveled. As a comedian and radio host, Wanda Smith stepped in to defend Tiffany. That's when the conversation spiraled. Katt went all in, calling Tiffany Haddish nothing more than an industry plant, a hand-picked face with no real comedic foundation. According to him, she hadn't proven herself on the road, had no standout material, and the only things sustaining her rise were her looks and her connections to powerful white men. Katt Williams said during that interview, "You only got Tiffany Haddish. She's been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. Why? Because she hasn't toured. She hasn't done a special. She hasn't shown the ability to deliver jokes back-to-back for an hour to anybody. But they're already ready to down Monique and uplift someone who only gave them Girls Trip. You think she wrote Girls Trip? Goofball? Or do you think that was a script they handed her because she wanted to sleep with a white man?" From there, he kept piling on, mentioning her past relationships, her divorce, her memoir, and even her public comments about Brad Pitt. Each jab cut deeper. Wanda tried to step in, cracking a light joke about Katt cooking for his kids in an attempt to steer things back toward humor. But instead of easing up, Katt redirected his attacks at her. That was the turning point. Kevin Hart is now emphasizing that this wasn't just a heated comedic exchange. It was outright sabotage. Wanda Smith's career never recovered after that moment. The clips went viral, memes circulated, and the humiliation followed her. What should have been a playful back and forth turned into a public dismantling of her credibility. And Kevin hasn't forgotten. That's why he's pressing the issue now. For years, Katt has cast himself as the rebellious truth teller, exposing Hollywood sellouts. But Kevin's argument is clear. Katt has been playing the same game, just in a more destructive way. The irony is striking. Katt once accused Kevin of being a gatekeeper, shutting out deserving comics. But Kevin is countering that Katt wasn't guarding gates at all. He was burning bridges, wrecking careers, and cashing checks while claiming victimhood.
Didn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
Yes,
big in
ma'am.
prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it
yeah.
off. Prison
Okay.
and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay,
No.
okay.
No.
Calm
No.
down, calm down.
Only one of us has $12
Calm
worth
down.
of jewelry on.
Oh,
No.
No, $12.
No. That all is
$12,
available.
boo,
If you
$12.
wanna have Wanda's jewelry, please go to
go
Sit
shut-
Go.
The timing couldn't be worse for Katt. What was meant to be an apology to Michael Jackson, a sign of growth and maturity, ended up reminding people of the damage left behind throughout his career. If he could admit to mocking MJ, then many believe Wanda Smith and her family also deserve that same recognition. The culture has shifted since 2018. Social media isn't as forgiving as it once was. Back then, Wanda was ridiculed while Katt simply moved on. Now, fans are connecting the dots, asking tougher questions. How many other comedians were sidelined by Katt's bitterness? How many times did he point outward while hiding his own flaws? Kevin Hart's move was deliberate. He didn't just defend himself, he used the moment to finally expose Katt Williams as the very figure he claims to fight against. And whether Katt responds or stays silent, the damage is already visible. Old clips are resurfacing, receipts are circulating, and calls for a public apology to Wanda Smith are louder than ever. The internet might love a redemption story, but it also demands accountability. Right now, Katt is at a crossroads. Either he admits what happened to Wanda, or he doubles down, proving Kevin's point that Katt can dish it out but can't take it. That Wanda Smith interview was never supposed to be more than a standard radio moment. She wasn't looking for conflict, she wasn't aiming to go viral, and she certainly didn't expect her career to suffer. Wanda was simply doing her job, tossing in a playful jab to keep the segment lively. But instead of playing along, Katt turned it into a full-blown attack.
You know, I was excited to really have him in this studio, to be honest with you. And I felt like as he started to talk in the beginning, he had an agenda, like to attack me. And I kept feeling some type of way. And I'm like,
Did you feel the tension in the room before he even started talking?
I felt the tension. I did. Just because of the respect that I had for him. When he started coming at me, it kind of threw me off. So I didn't know how to retaliate or how to come back because that's not how I wanted to talk to him. I didn't want to talk to him like that. I didn't want to go back and forth with him like because of the respect. So when it kept going on and on and on, as a person that has integrity, I had to say something back. And I didn't want to because my focus, Frank, in Atlanta was because God had just blessed me with this folder right here to go to the Nicholas house when I got off air was to go help these homeless women. So my mind wasn't on being disrespectful and in a bad place. I just wasn't in a bad place. So I did not want to go back and forth with Katt Williams like that. That bothered me so bad. That really bothered me. So that's why I never said, people were like, why you didn't go back? Why you didn't? Because I know my mouth. I could have said some really ugly, foul things, but I didn't want to talk to him like that. I did not. It was a respect thing.
That was the moment things shifted in a way neither Wanda nor anyone in that Atlanta studio could have imagined. Wanda tossed out a simple, motherly question. Did Katt actually cook for his kids? It was meant as a harmless joke, but Katt seized it as a chance to tear her down. What began as lighthearted banter quickly turned sharp. He didn't just tease her, he mocked her parenting, ridiculed her cooking, insulted her interviewing, and even took shots at her appearance, all while turning the studio into his audience. Everyone else laughed, but Wanda's face revealed the truth. She was uncomfortable, tense, and struggling to keep her composure. Katt Williams said, "As a father of 7 with an unlimited food budget, I can make whatever is necessary with what they like." "Excuse me," I said, "what do they like?" "Just because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean I didn't answer. You just didn't listen." That line had the room erupting, but Wanda was clearly losing ground, and Katt didn't let up. He leaned in harder, making it personal. He added, "It sounds like you like me a little bit. It's starting to bleed over the airwaves. Wanda's got lipstick on right now with enough glitter for the 4th of July." He turned her attempt to steer the conversation into more fuel, using every angle to humiliate her. Wanda tried to hold steady, replying, "Oh, whatever. I cook. I do it all." But by then, the energy had shifted. What should have been a playful interview turned into a one-sided roast that Wanda never agreed to. She tried again to pivot, but Katt wouldn't ease up. He said, "Look up your phone right now and see what it takes to make broccoli. Doesn't it just say heat up water? Is that the only step in broccoli? You can't even burn broccoli because it's made in a pot of water." The studio laughed even louder. Wanda forced a smile, but the discomfort was obvious. Instead of backing off, she tried firing back, bringing up Katt's past arrests and even his hair. "That's when things escalated," Wanda Smith said. "That's right. You're big on the radio." Katt instantly shot back, "And you're big in prison." Wanda denied ever serving time, but Katt pressed on. 19 felonies, no convictions. Knock it off. Prison and jail aren't the same thing. The room exploded. What was supposed to be a friendly 20-minute segment about Katt's Emmy win turned into one of V103's most viral moments, but for the wrong reasons. Instead of celebrating his accomplishments, the clip became infamous as the moment he dismantled Wanda live on air. The fallout for Wanda was immediate. Within hours, Twitter was flooded with threads mocking her. Reddit lit up with comment chains criticizing her interviewing. Strangers who had never tuned into her show suddenly had harsh opinions. One viral Reddit post read, "No one has anything nice to say about Wanda Smith. She'll always be remembered as the woman roasted by Katt Williams." Another was even more brutal. No disrespect to the dead, but Wanda Smith was terrible. Rude on air, rude off air. And she finally got what was coming. It was devastating. Imagine a decades-long radio career built on community service, charity drives, and connecting with listeners, only to be remembered almost entirely for being humiliated in a single 20-minute exchange. Later, Wanda tried to share her side of the story. Wanda Smith said, "I was honestly excited to have him in the studio, but as soon as he started talking, it felt like he came in with an agenda to attack me. I could sense the tension early on, even before much was said. It threw me off balance. I didn't want to go back and forth out of respect, but it just kept going. As someone with integrity, I felt I had to respond." Her explanation showed the reality behind her reactions. She wasn't trying to roast him or get into a sparring match. In fact, she was multitasking, handling the interview while preparing to head to a local women's shelter after her shift. Her mindset wasn't about conflict. She wanted to maintain respect, not hostility. But Katt kept pressing, and eventually, she felt cornered into answering on his terms. Still, her effort to clear the air didn't change how people saw it. Wanda was labeled a poor interviewer, and soon after, she was let go from V103. But the fallout didn't end with her job. Things escalated dangerously outside the Atlanta Comedy Theater later that same weekend. The official story was chaotic. Reports claimed Wanda's husband pulled a gun on Katt Williams in the parking lot, forcing Katt to flee. Headlines framed it as her family ambushing him. But when more details surfaced, the story seemed inconsistent. Wanda later explained that Katt had provoked the confrontation, and her husband never pointed a gun at him. According to her, the weapon slipped, and he simply picked it up. However, the way the video was edited made it appear as though her husband had aimed directly at Katt. That clip painted Wanda's family as unstable and violent, piling on even more damage to her reputation. Meanwhile, police never got full cooperation from Katt. He disappeared from the investigation, leaving Wanda and her family to deal with the fallout alone. To her, it felt intentional, like someone was twisting the knife deeper. Fast forward to 2024, and Katt Williams finally revisited the Wanda Smith controversy. But instead of showing accountability, he doubled down, presenting himself as the victim.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promo shoots. You off your promo trips that they had set up for you. He chose you.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy.
Katt Williams said, "Before the interview, Wanda told me we weren't going to bring up my kids, jail, or past cases. She promised that. Then she flipped on me and went straight there. You can't flip up on me because you're an inferior comedian. I'm gonna destroy you, and I don't even have to call you names." He presented it like Wanda had set him up, omitting that he himself escalated the exchange. He then revisited the parking lot confrontation. "They tried to kill me that same weekend, not with jokes, with a real gun in my face. I almost lost my life just for doing my job. If that happened to anyone else, the world would have freaked out. Look how they reacted when Will smacked Chris. But with me, it was fine. In his telling, he cast himself as the aggrieved party, not the aggressor, and even blamed Wanda for losing her job, alleging she tried to shame him by calling him gay. Katt said, "Gay people don't feel like gay is a derogatory term, so why would you try to shame me with it?" That's why she got canceled. She tried to embarrass me in front of my fans. Kevin Hart later used the whole saga to illustrate his point. Kevin argued that Katt constantly points fingers at Hollywood while avoiding responsibility for his own choices. You had the shot. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You skipped promo shoots, skipped tours. Hollywood chose you and you fumbled it. Kevin's critique wasn't only about Katt's career, it was about the way Katt treated other Black comics. He insisted Katt wasn't just a victim of the system, but an active participant who would throw another comedian under the bus when it suited him. Looking back, many now view that interview not as a roast gone wrong, but as straightforward bullying. As one Reddit comment put it, Katt Williams bullied Wanda Smith, and because he was a comedian, it was dismissed as okay. But it was an ambush. She lost her career. He did not. That unresolved imbalance is where the tension remains. Wanda is gone, her name tied to that clip, while Katt never issued a real apology. He defended himself, shifted blame, and claimed victimhood. That silence convinces many that Kevin Hart may be right. Maybe Katt didn't just roast Wanda. Maybe he helped bury her. In the end, Wanda Smith didn't just lose a radio job. She lost reputation and legacy because one comedian decided tearing her down was worth the laugh or the paycheck.